floor. He comes to the floor. Yeah, he ain't in it. Yeah. Yeah, it got wet. Yeah, that's wet. Change the blades out. Damn, at the ground. Why they still good? It's not so it's a little dinged up. We'll try it. We'll fly tomorrow. It's got a little curve to it. It might change the way it hovers. Wow. I didn't even notice that. Dude. Oh man. I should do a hover test real quick. What do you think? You think? Is it good? It's the program is all good. Damn. That shit went flying, bro. It's only 128 gigabytes. I thought that was 1 gigahertz. Let's change the way out though. I know you like to change it. Fix it. We gonna fix it, man. We gonna put the new blades got a chip in it. Oh man, I'm gonna change this one too. You know what? The heat on this here. It's got a chip. You know what? I might change all of them. I'm gonna change all of them out. And then we'll fly to the ring. Damn, that's that. Wow, that's what hit the side of that. Inside the building. Change all of them. Let's go get this reading on, bro. Get this reading going. Get this reading going. Live, ain't nothing like live, baby. You like seeing it fly? You thought it was gonna fly? You should be jumping everywhere when this thing starts flying. Thank you. Let's go ahead and get some reading done. And then we're going to finish watching our movie, bro. It's movie day. Movie day. Movie day. Let's go ahead and bring this down a little bit. Yeah, I took it out there. I wanted to record, but I don't have the gimbal that moves. So I need to get one of those. If somebody's got to use one that works, I'll buy it. I can just buy a new one, right? Workers are coming home. Got that top all the way down. Awesome. Put that off the pistol first. Okay, this one's done. We gotta put the other chip in this here. And don't go messing with the chip. Lose the chip like you did the other one. I don't know where's it, probably up under the sofa. I need to vacuum up under there, but I don't want to lose nothing. All them damn pennies, dimes, and quarters you done pushed up under the sofa. Jeez, I can't really change on the table. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I'm doing my best to get more people over here. I know there's a lot of people on the other channel who had not checked the notification. A lot of people don't be on YouTube like that. The sad thing is being on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok is like the worst. So my brother Big Drez was talking to me, Mike Spivey, you know what I'm talking about. So you know what I'm talking about. He was talking about a couple of platforms. He's going to keep me informed with platforms, and some you can get monetized on. So I'm going to look at two of them. I actually wrote it down. I'm going to check them out. Now, one that's kind of dealing in the metaverse, we know that's government. We know that's government, foreign and domestic. But you can actually say a lot more. And I would love to be able to just read for hours and have everybody enthralled. I know that most people here, a lot of us have a little ADHD or HAD, you know, hyper also, HADH, and I'm sending out energy to I don't like the word hope because it means we're hopeless, and we're not. We're far from it. But with the belief that people will be more focused and content with receiving a little more as far as information, and allow it to be pertinent into their lives. Hey, what's going on, Sue? Oh, well, not so. What's going on, Rondo, Mikey? I have the want for people to be more pragmatic in their life. I just unsubscribed from like 12 different Aboriginal. What's the other one? I look at some of the videos and it's just garbage. And I know that they came over and looked at my other show, and they, you know, some of the talking points I saw, and I don't watch everything. It's just, it's sad. So on my other channel, I put on it that there's racist people working within YouTube. I would love for them to prove otherwise. They don't care. They believe, some of them don't even believe in the agenda, just like they don't believe the earth is flat. Twitch their own. They're monotonously foolish. They're not well studied. None of them. I would say 99.5% of YouTube staff is not well studied. They are educated. And you know what education alludes to? Zero illumination, raise, zero fact base, just like the individual, the Zionist, the small hat that created Snopes. I busted Snopes up beside the head about a certain argument they wanted to contest, and then they come back around with not validated or not. Let me tell you something. What is the number one way to not disprove, because you really can't, but what's the number one way to have everybody dismiss something that is relevant as irrelevant? To call them cuckoo, crazy, conspiracy theory. And the majority of people that say, oh man, you're a conspiracy theorist, they don't know what conspiracy means, nor the theory, which makes conspiracies relevant, that applies. In order for a conspiracy to exist, there must be a theory that makes it applicable. See, they don't even know that. So what do? They run right to the first source that is deliberately keeping everybody hostage in a blind manifestation of state. You know, when I was doing that video, and some of y'all so you saw it on Instagram, right? The young guy and the old guy, it's not about so much the violence, because it's not bloodletting, somebody getting their head chopped off with a chainsaw and all this other foolishness. It's literally a young man disrespecting an older man. I believe the young man was drinking. Doesn't mean that the older guy couldn't have whopped him up, but the thing is, even if it's out of context based upon color, the reality is that it shouldn't be happening. And so what the little I call them the little gnomes did, they ran right to it because they wanted to find something to silence me over there. You can't silence me. This platform means nothing to me. See, this is where they make the gravest mistake. They believe this platform, I am utilizing it to talk to people and maybe educate them, because that to nurture them and teach them something other than their ignorance. And not one of them, all of them put together don't know nothing like what I know. Every last one of them and YouTube staff do not know what I know, even their little agents, you know? So it's funny. You would think that they'd be a little wiser. Well, we all know how that goes, because every time the little Nazi boys tell them, give them their marching orders, they run right with it. Well, you know, they've selected everybody by now. There's not too much we can do about it. And they don't mind being wrong. So it is what it is. To think I was putting nasty ass alkaline chocolate on strawberries. What was wrong with me? Let me open. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this reading. I have a lot of books that I'm telling you about. What I'm going to do this evening, I know y'all want to watch. Y'all know y'all want me to read, which called the exposition, Howards and Heaven Bearers and the Book Giants and all that stuff. I'm going to read that tomorrow AM. I'm going to read that tomorrow AM because the next part of what I'm going to read in William Cooper, I want to read that afterwards, okay? So I'm going to read part today, but the following part I want to read after I read those. But I want to get into Francis Zimmerman, the Encyclopedia of Ancient Giants in North America, forward by L.A. Mozzulli. Now, we know the names allude to a lot of things being fictional, yet 2015, solar temples hinges in the British Isles and the Ohio Valley. Transition from the megalithic area. Now, more and more people are becoming more and more aware of the truth. You know, there was a newspaper. Maybe one of y'all could pull it up. I would have to do it on my laptop. But I was going over some old newspaper articles before I get into that. And I wanted y'all to go ahead and pull this newspaper article up, okay? The Evening Telegraph. Anybody gonna write this down? The Evening Telegraph, Monday, November 21st, 1921. Somebody asked me the question. I was like, yeah, in the article, it talked about the flat earth. It's like, you're the one that said you used to research microfiche. Yeah, I've seen it all. Popular mechanics, the flat earth, the French guy that went up in his homemade capsule, to the highest, Bob Frozen's behind all. Anyway, it's the Evening Telegraph, Monday, November 21st, 1921 newspaper. It's the front page, and now it's in microfiche. Have they transcribed it to digital? They say most of stuff they have, but I would guarantee you that if it states this, it would be a blurred picture. So if you can actually pull it up in microfiche, microphe, microfiche, what I used to utilize when I was in middle of high school for art and all kind of stuff, and the Tartarian information I was pulling up that you couldn't find nowhere until you were directed to the right established books, printed. And some of those books were printed in 1906, 1925, 1911, even 1965. The Vietnam War was when they tore the one down that was in California, part of that old picture that looked like Chicago, where they stored a lot of Jeeps and some tanks before they completely destroyed it. And the women of the old world, well, not the old world, but the ones that came here, cried to save it. There's a lot of things over there in the parks and stuff that are all Tartarian, and they don't even know that these things are millennia old. So anyway, so it's the Evening Telegraph, Monday, November 21st, 1921 newspaper, the front page in the middle, on the top, in microfiche. Okay? All right, so I wanted to share that with you. All right, now back over here. So anyway, transition from the megalithic area. So let's run with it to that. I can just jump around in here all day. From the Neanderthal hybrids to the double rows of teeth to out here in Arizona, there was no. In 1920, there weren't no Navajo. We're just going to leave that at that. So if you come over here, Navajo's looking, appreciate your new template name. It's not even who you are. And we're going to leave it at that. Do the research. I'm not here to beat nobody up. I am just making a factual state. You know what I'm saying? And also, are you aware that the stone hinge that's over in so-called Europe is fake? The original one was right here in America. Could you guesstimate? We're talking about 1500 BCE. Could you guesstimate where the original Stonehenge in the Ohio Valley, not that far from Nigger Trail? See, people have a hard time disseminating and accepting the fact that they can learn something. That's why I allude and I'd advise y'all to get everybody you can to come over here, because I'm getting very tired of wanting to share this story about the pale wolf and the dark wolf. I really am. I might one day just say, and maybe that's what they want, I'm not telling nobody the story. Well, that'll be on y'all, not on me. Some of y'all might be sitting there in your ignorance going, yeah, but it's on your deliveries. Well, oh, shut up with y'all's little whinism. Be part of the solution instead of the continued part of the problem. It's enough that I've even walked and did what I did. 300 people said, Red, I'm surprised that I don't hear, but they don't have to be. You need to tell us stuff, you know what I'm saying? And here I am, and everybody's just like this. We got to be bigger than that. We have to be the light that we're supposed to be and who we are. And I know there's some good people who I like that are looking for this information and they can't find it. I know they're looking. Just like the Hata people. They struck that from the records. Have any of y'all been able to find that? What the Hata? You would say Hata people. Their visit to Japan, the Anu, so-called Japan, but the Anu Islands and all the surrounding ones, handing off scrolls on how to fight to the sheep people, not that long before the 13th century when the fall started happening, and that they were being chased and hunted, and they were given restitude. Hebraicism is their way of life. They're from here. And they went around the earth making sure and ensuring everybody in all systems were operating and functioning. The mudslide happened somewhere between that time, people. Maybe the third or fourth. Have any of y'all ever seen a mudslide? Let me tell you something about what I witnessed in Spain. Mudslide moves so fast that you would think it's like the snow Alps, the Alps. What do you call it? The avalanche. It moves so fast. And when you think that it's going to stop because it's so thick with all the debris, it speeds up. Y'all don't get it. There's no gravity. When things get to moving and there's a force behind it, for every action, there is a lot of times a more powerful and greater action. That's why it's so important that I have to share this stuff. And nobody knows I'm going to talk about the things I'm going to talk about. Not even some of these little government agency boys. They might be wanting to do a job or something to be the dumbest thing in the world. Anyway, stone mounds. Let's see where we're at. Okay. There are several of megalithic stone circles that have been described in West Virginia and Ohio. Stone circles are found along with stone mounds with doorway intels or inlets, stone doorways, and earthen mounds with stone chambers. They've destroyed a lot of them. Are you aware of that? And they covered them and filled them in. You can actually find pictures of this. Stone mounds with doorway intels are described as being found on almost every hill near Charleston, West Virginia. Along the Kanawha. Kanawha is a tribe of people too, people. Oh yes, not one of these fake Mongolians. But anyway, Kanawha River. These doorways connected to the living with the dead. It's a way with certain individuals, like the shaman, could go and intercede and convey and converse. That's why a lot of our stories were passed on, because they knew that they would be obliterated or removed. Megalithic passage tomb in England. This type of burial mound continued in the Bronze Age in the arrival of the Amorite Beaker people. We had mounds everywhere because we were one world. And we conveyed from the Republic, the old world, with all those around it. So is there people here from somewhere else? I honestly believe so. In my opinion, my honest opinion, I believe so. Who else needs to keep studying and developing to figure things out when nothing needs figuring out, nor understanding? And they really took hold once we fell, because before that, it was devising ways to collapse us completely. And we're not completely collapsed. Anyway, the continental history of the county of Ross County, Ohio, 1902. To the south of this, about 200 yards, is a stone circle 100 feet in diameter and 5 or 6 feet high. In the center of this is a large stone mound, some 10 feet high. This work was located in Huntington Township on the east side of the Black Run, 200 yards south of the old mini farm. Another stone circle is described as having, and you know that's the Mormons, that foolish ass fake religion, having been constructed from massive stones 3.5 by 25 feet at the base. And you would think that the Mormons, before the fake Zionists who have been running around telling us who we are, you would think these goofy Mormons, after being so diluted and dumbed down, that they would realize we better tell the truth. But you see, fake power corrupts. Anyway, by 25 feet at the base, how much would these have weighed and how were they transported? This feat is reminiscent of Stonehenge, and we know that Stonehenge is fake. You can actually pull up when they were building it, and then later on talking about, oh, we moved it. You don't move something that you claim is sun and all that stuff important. And I just wanted to share that with you. They have drawings and stuff. I'll show you that later. Okay. I just wanted to share that with you as far as like a little tea of information, because people have a hard time accepting that this is, I don't like the word old world. This is where it all started. And it is. Even the final conclusion to the fall of man's kind and man. Okay? Let's go ahead and get into George Jones. I figured some of the people over there on Instagram would come over after I shared it with them that I'm doing this, but there's not too many people that's bright over there. You know, you got East Side Crackhead. He's some, you know, and people that's worship and run around and follow this guy. You know, I smoke and I eat every once in a while, but because he raps, because he lives from Brooklyn. Like, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of Negroes in New York are just gone. They're mindless. And the sad thing is, there's hope for them. But they're like self-inflicting with their own purgatory. I lived in Brooklyn. I got uncles in Red Hook. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it's just ridiculous, you know? But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get into George Jones, An Original History of Ancient America, okay? By L. Brown. This is L. Brown Classics, okay? We're in section 3. All right? Coins and metals. These are admitted species of historic evidence. Excuse me. And, damn, strawberries got me burping like that? And as lasting ones, perhaps beyond all others. Listen to this. These are admitted species of historic evidence and lasting ones, perhaps beyond all others. Now, you see, they call something species. Does it have to do with people? We'll see. A series of them is the most certain method of arranging a chronological tablet and thereby preserving the data of history, mythology, portraits, customs, and art. The reader will excuse the relation of an anecdote to which may be traced the production of the present work. So species has nothing to do with the people or creatures. Boy, if you scratch on my back table, we're gonna take this with the Timberland. Yeah, there you go. Smart. At the early age of 9 years, a small ancient coin came into the accidental possession of the writer. Its stamp and character were enveloped in mystery, and recourse was had to an antiquary to decipher them. The observer of the coin contained a profile head, and around it the letters AVG VSTVS Augustus. On the reverse, a temple with the doors closed, surmounted by the word Providentia. The explanation was as follows. A coin of Augustus Caesar. The temple was that of Janus, the doors of which had been open for nearly 2 centuries, and emblematical of the continuance of Roman warfare with foreign countries. But on the coin, the doors were closed, and with the word of thanksgiving were symbolical of universal peace, thus proving that the coin was struck the very year in which the Savior was born. Thus, upon one coin were illustrated the features of the second Roman emperor in mythology, cessation of war, the downfall of Brutus and Cassius, the defeat of Antony, and the birth of Christianity. This simple incident made so powerful an impression upon the boyhood of the relator that to it he has always traced the foundation of his scriptural, historical, and poetical studies, together with an enthusiastic devotion of the fine arts. The coin was found here. Didn't I tell you that we had Colosseums and stuff that rivaled Rome? Nobody wanted to believe me, and I actually found the picture of a Colosseum that looked like Rome that was destroyed. I believe it was St. Louis, right? The description of the above coin will illustrate the historical intelligence to be derived from their perusal. A medal is a special mode of recording tributary honor to individuals. Of course, we had peace with them. Everybody feared us. Literary, civil, or military, they become heirlooms and family possessions and are transmitted from sire to son as absolute records of their ancestors' fame. They are also struck in celebration of national events and thence become records of a people. So assured was Napoleon of this, that a series of his medals are a complete history of his victories, from his consulate to his loss of the empire, and that event at Waterloo was recorded by Great Britain upon her medals. For even the soldiers, as well as officers, Denon of France and Wan of England are names as artists worthy to record the victories of Napoleon in Wellington. Architecture, sculpture, paintings, coins, and medals from the investigation contained in the previous pages, we submit to the judgment of the reader. Era established as authorities for historical records. These are the coins, and y'all know, some of y'all may have heard of the coins that were struck, well, found, not struck means to be printed, that were found Virginia, Carolinas, the interior of North America, that were from so-called Rome. But if you want to conquer a land, what do you do when it's always been peace? By infiltrators who want to take over everything. And who would give them the power to do such? Who would find someone in a group of individuals to give chase, to destroy, and then mitigate them the rulership of the earth? What kind of power or entity, or entities or powers? Who would do that? These are the questions that I like to pose after uploading a video or whatever narrative. And to make something clear, they're attempting to stand by it was a violent video. How many of us, if we were all in person, could raise our hands to every day the violence that we see on YouTube? It doesn't matter the platform. I'm an educational platform. So what amount of hands and feet can we put into the air? This non-stop. It's a purgatory. And they don't mind women shaking booties and everything else. It's like the music industry. That's what I mean by YouTube. And my friend who worked for them, on and off for 5-6 years, says there are tons of racists that work for these communities. He also worked for Facebook, like Cartrell. I don't think Cartrell works for Facebook anymore, but yeah, as far as I believe he did. I have to ask him again. But anyway, yeah, tons of them. It's like the policy enforcers. They believe they're law, and they're not. Law enforcement, law does not, let's say procedures and policies do not supersede law. The problem is they don't know law. They believe their costume equates law, and it's the farthest from the truth. Now let's get into Arthur Kessler, the 13th tribe. The enemy knew what they were doing, especially with those. You think about all the racist police departments in the 60s and 50s, right? And 70s. It's like, we hate Jews. Why are you following the orders, you retards? I just have to laugh. I'm sorry. My apologies. I have to laugh. So let's get into this, all right? Guys, let me make sure. I know I read to a point and I stopped. Because I read the relevant pages to which read of the life works based on the authors, what you call it? Excuse me, I'm not tired. All right, so anticipating cultural interchanges did not prevent the Rus from gradually eating their way into the Khazar Empire by appropriating the Slavonic subjects and vassals. According to the primary Russian chronicle, by 859, we read this one, we'll go over it again. That is some 25 years after Sarkel was built. The tribute from the Slavonic people was divided between the Khazars and the Varangians from beyond the Baltic Sea. And the Varangians levied tribute on Chuds. That reminds me of cannibalistic, humanistic underground dwellers. I saw that when I was living in New York a long time ago. Newark. Anyway, Chuds. That's what I'm saying. Everything of the past is in movies and up to now, and they're given misrepresentation and misguided terms. That's why it's important to have somebody to bring that to the forefront. But all you'll be listening to professors or scientists who are foolish. Anyway, Clavicians, etc. For example, the more northerly Slavonic people, while the Khazars continue to levy tribute on the, listen to this, on the Viatici, I can't even pronounce the word, man. Viachi, the Sibian, and most important of all, the Polyan in the central region of Kiev. But not for long. 3 years later, if we can trust the dating, and in parentheses it states, in the Russian Chronicle, and the key town of Kiev on the Dnieper, previously under Khazar suzerainty, passed into the Rus' hands. This was to prove a decisive event in Russian history. Though it apparently happened. Now, what we're not doing here, we're not talking about the authentic aboriginals of that land, okay, to which we're seeing they thought they were Egyptian, all right? Not straight hair, not pale and mixed and hybridized, okay? Or people not of that land. Anyway, apparently happened without an armed. Anyway, this was to prove a decisive event in Russian history, though it apparently happened without an armed struggle. According to the Chronicle, Novgorod was at the time ruled by the semi-legendary Prince Rurik, and that's Horata, who held under his sway all the Viking settlements, the northern Slavonic and some Finnish people. Two of Rurik's men, Oskold and Dur, on traveling down the Dnieper, saw a fortified place on a mountain, the site of which they liked. So if you're Russian in here watching this, correct my words, my enunciation. I could do it on here, and we're told that this was the town of Kiev and that it paid tribute to the Khazars. The two settled in the town with their families, gathered many northern to them, and ruled over the neighboring Slavs, even as Rurik ruled at Novgorod. Some 20 years later, Rurik's son Oleg, Helgi, came down and put Oskold and Dur to death and annexed Kiev to his sway. You seeing what's going on here? What is happening is literally the rewrite of history, a new people, a new face, all throughout the regions. By what? Betrayal. These are all relatives. Who did I say was the progenitor of the Ashkenaz? We say Gomer. Just listen, for literary purposes. And who were their brothers and sisters? Well, they're brothers. They illuminate all the time. They never mention the sisters. But these are the very people on all land masses, claiming to be those on those land masses. The two tribes that went and conquered the Anu people of the Anu Islands. The two tribes that went and fought off the last remnants of the true Genghis Khan himself. And they switched the history on and made him like he was from somewhere else when it's all part of the same place. And they said, oh, he was buried and hidden. Who would want to bury and hide somebody? Because we know what Skull and Crossbones did with Geronimo's skull. Make it make sense. Just pay attention. Just a little bit. And the handful of Native American tribes that fought with us who were mixed with our people. And the rest didn't fight nothing. A lot of them weren't even here. They were in boarding schools, the youngins being educated and made to believe that they come from this land. If you dig what I'm saying? And given a new history and identity, and allowed to speak some. And why do you think it was so important that they don't speak the language? Because we were still around and we knew it was not the language of this land. Now you have all these people speaking all these weird languages. Our people could speak many different languages, but they only spoke one language on this soil. Prove me wrong. Behold a pale horse, William Cooper. I just love that symbol, Namaste. Even though I'm not too entirely sure it's a good thing. You do your own research in that department. I'm not even at the crux of that research. So when I say Namaste, and we believe it's peace be unto you or whatever, I am starting to believe it's more of a vacuum-like figure in old and out new. Could we profess that maybe it gets rid of the dead you and make the alive you? I don't think so. I believe there's no dead you. I believe the you that you need to get in touch with is of importance. So I'm only saying Namaste because it's a signature on his book, and he believed that, like many other things. Excuse me. Everyone's imperfect, as perfect as we're created. But I'm just learning some different things. You dig what I'm saying? And the more I learn, I'll share. I might be learning some wrong things. Okay, so let's get into this. Many of them, okay, when we left off, we were at the Vatican, the Russell Trust of Skull and Bones, the Scroll of Kia, the Order, and they are all the same, all work toward the same ultimate goal, a new world order. Many of them, however, disagree on exactly who will rule this new world order. And I read this, but I want to run through this again. And that is what causes them to sometimes pull in opposite directions, okay? And then the next one was basically in 1952, an alliance was formed, bringing them all together for the first time in history. The Black families, the Illuminati, the Order. Listen, the Black families, the Illuminati, the Order, the Vatican, and the Freemasons now work together. You paying attention? To bring about the New World Order. All will protest their innocence and will do everything within their power to destroy anyone who just suggests otherwise. I will undoubtedly become a target when this book is published. And he was murdered in Arizona. You may notice that some of those listed in the preceding paragraphs do not, or so it appears, practice degrees of initiation. That is the public view. Look at the Council on Foreign Relations. Many members, in fact, the majority, never serve on executive committees. They never go through any initiation of any kind. They are, in fact, the power base and are used to gain a consensus of opinion. The majority are not really members, but are made to feel as if they are. In reality, they are being used and are unwilling or unable to understand. The executive committee, to an inner core of intimate associates, members of a secret society called the Order of the Quest, also known as the Jason Society, devoted to a common purpose, to which it is. Check this out. The members are an outer circle on whom the inner core acts by personal persuasion, patronage, and social pressure. Would that be blackmail? Anyway, are the whims and pains of those outside the court. Thus, and that is how they brought Henry Kissinger, and that's how they bought Henry Kissinger, Rockefeller gave Kissinger a grant of $50,000 in the early 50s, a fortune in those days, and made dear old Henry a member of the CFR. You dig what I'm saying? Holy smack. That's the Council of Foreign Relations, to which we all know what his position was in there. Anyone in the outer circle who does not toe the mark is summarily expelled, and the lesson is not lost on those who remain. Hence, Patton, General Patton, and then his subsequent, because he knew too much, death, neck broke, car accident, driver okay. Anyway, I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, summarily expelled, and the lesson is not lost on those who remain. Do you remember the human desire to be a member of the elect? That is the principle at work. The real power is the men who are always recruited, without exception, from the secret societies of Harvard and Yale, known as the Skull and Bones, and the Scroll and Key. You always hear Skull and Bones, but you never hear about the Scroll and Key, which I heard about in high school. Anyway, both societies are secret branches, also called the Brotherhood of Death, of what is otherwise historically known as the Illuminati. They are connected to parent organizations in England, and in a parenthesis it states the group of Oxford University, and especially All Souls College. Y'all know about that? All Souls College? And in Germany, the Thus Society, the Thul Society, I call them Thus, Thul, Thul Society, also called the Brotherhood of Death. I learned this when I was with Naval Intelligence. I was not able to explain why some members of the executive committee were not listed under the addressees of Chapter 322 of the Skull and Bone Society until I read The Wise Men by Walter Isaacson. Isaacson. Walter Isaacson, okay? And Evan Thomas. Simon and Schuster, New York. Simon and Schuster. Small hats. Anyway, I'm just saying. New York. Under illustration number 9, in the center of the book, you will find the caption, "Love it," with the Yale unit, above far right and on the beach. His initiation into Skull and Bones came at an air base near Dunkirk. I have found that members of these two societies were chosen on an ongoing basis by invitation based on merit post-college and were not confirmed to only Harvard or Yale attendees. Only members of the order are initiated into the Order of the Quest. the adjacent society that makes up the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, and in fact, the Trilateral Commission as well. It's pretty interesting. The executive members of the Council of Foreign Relations are the real elect in this country. George Bush is a member of the order. Surprised yet? You shouldn't be. His father was also a member who helped finance Hitler. It is important that you know that the members of the order take an oath that absolves them from any allegiance to any nation or king or government or constitution, and that includes the negating of any subsequent oath of allegiance that they may be required to take. Just like when Bush was sitting in there in that school and one of the Jesuits came and told him the job has been done. Well, that's what he was told with success. You sit there, and of course he would be a little nervous because they're aware there's many people out here. And that's all I'll say to that. Anyway, allegiance only to the order and its goal, or take an oath and absolve them from any allegiance to any nation or king or government or constitution. And that includes the negating of any subsequent oath of allegiance that they may be required to take. They swear allegiance only to the order and its goal of a new world order. That's why when I saw guns and gadgets and all these individuals talking about Biden's just the executive order for the Second Amendment, man, his order don't mean shit. He is not a president. He's not a king. He's nobody. He's a liar. His oath meant nothing to him. So that means everything he does or says and states is moot. Now, to these pale skins and all these that with these million subscribers, wake the snap up out of their little subconscious multitude of placated reality and depths of solitude and stupidity. And they're going to keep listening and believing in the crap that does not mean nothing because you got a bunch of goofy jackboots who don't know no better and some who love to mitigate the power to assassinate in those ranks, knowing that, I go to court, blah, 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 and I'll be Sunnydale, California. I'll be out in the islands, the Caribbean, or back over in England. And y'all think they're locked up. Might be a double. Y'all don't get it. Anyway, let me finish this off. Anyway, again, the goal of a new world order. George Bush is not a loyal citizen of the United States, but instead is loyal only to the destruction of the United States and to the formation of the new world order. According to the oath Bush took when he was initiated into Skull and Bones, his oath of office as president of the United States of America means nothing. Just like John Kerry. Isn't John Kerry, we're going to stop there. Wasn't John Kerry a Navy SEAL? Let me see something. Lieutenant Junior Grade John Kerry served as an officer in charge of the United States Navy SEAL Team 1 Delta Platoon while leading his men on patrol. Presidency, when he was running for it. John Kerry, who was not a Navy SEAL. Now it says who was not a Navy SEAL. He was a swift boat operator, worked for the SEAL teams. Received a Silver Star, Bronze Star, and 3 Purple Hearts. And that was, I believe, in Vietnam. So I knew, they were saying he was, but he was a swift boat. Any of y'all know about swift boat operators? They train like special forces because they operate and carry the special forces operators. The military career of John Kerry occurred occurred during the Vietnam War. Kerry served as a lieutenant in the United States Navy during the periods from 1966, blah, blah, blah. National Defense Service Medal, a Navy Pistol Marksmanship Ribbon, Combat Action Ribbon. So a swift boat, special weapons, tactical, okay, fast tactical boat. That's what it was. SEALs to drop, run in, drop them off. Look at some of the swift boat operators training. You would think, yeah. So, like I stated. And there he is. Check that out. Oh man, stop being so stupid. Nobody wants to see that shit. Here he is right here. You know what? Let me just pull it up. And him as a swift boat operator. John Kerry's war accounts and whether he deserved accommodation is still being called into question. Of course, but he is skull and crossbones. So let's see if it was picture here. Here we go. Let's see if it's big. Here we go. It's big. Let's put it sideways. There he is right there. Swift special weapons fast attack craft. Anyway, something like that. So there you go. But he's skull and crossbones as well. And so obviously he may have, like skull and crossbones, you don't have to be a Mason. You go to that school because you're selected because of family ties. As you know, they're all related. Doesn't matter to me now. I just figured that you all might want to know that. I'm not in all inclusive into the back doors of all that stuff. I only read books. As far as the narratives go, you can further find out whatever information you feel that you need to find or to be able to negate the terrain to have a better understanding of certain things. I hope everybody gave me a thumbs up on this so that way we can get more people in here and you know, I was thinking about taking that one video down, but I think I'm gonna leave it up because I am tired of these city bumpkins thinking they control the narrative because of music industry. And when I say that, you know what I'm talking about when I say music industry, the frauds, the ones that manipulate and have everybody out here fighting each other, the rap, as far as the consistency of this new age nonsense. You know, like I said, when we were consciously rapping and everything, and we're uplifting people and people were feeling the good beats, they had to bring that 440 to 808. They had to change the beat and they had to change the desire by offering worldly things and setting people up, even drugging them and using brute force, sometimes very, very terrible as far as what they did. And blackmail to get people to change the dynamics because of the power behind it. Of what we always create. We always created beautiful things. And we got a bunch of pale skins thinking country music's theirs. And no, fool, it's always ours. We created it, just like bluegrass and everything else. We created the damn music. Stop your insidious... Ugh. But anywho, you get what I'm saying. Let me give a shout out. Appreciate you guys coming over. Share this. Tell people, look, Red is over here because the racists on YouTube are doing this. They want to try and silence them. They can't silence shit, you know. But anyway, you know how it goes. So Rondo, I hit you up on Vanessa. APJR was cracking. You already know I got you, Chris. All right, Mikey Hill was cracking. Watch Cabin in the Woods. Yo, that's one of my favorites, right? I think there's like 2 of them, right? To dismiss someone is to call them crazy, and we are far from it. Exactly. And most people buy into that. It's the crazies who buy into it. Dilroy jacked him up. yeah, he did. He put the spank down on him, something fierce. But the thing wasn't about that. It was the fact that young people, you're not built the same. Stop believing you're invincible. You're far from it. Stop being violent. Let's stop the consistent ignorance, and let's start being consistently pragmatic in the real world. But you got to remember, there's some things going on with people that we just can't. That's why you got to be able to handle yourselves, women and men. You know, hey, what's going on, Black Wild Indian? What's cracking? Salute, Joshua Northern, West Side. Yo, me and Wes, we're gonna be throwing a podcast together, y'all. It's gonna be on this platform. All right, until I get the 500 or 1,000 up over here. I think 500, I'm good over here because it's still connected to the other account. But yeah, let's get some people over here. Tell the people on your thing. Look, this is my boy's new channel. It's a simple one too. It's not as long as the other one. It's still Jim Wooten. It's still Jim Lucifer Wooten Branch. You just, AKA Jim Redwolf. You just let them know. Come on over, all right? Because we're gonna do things a little different and a lot of reading. All right. Appreciate it. And y'all can still donate, god dang it. Just so you know how people are, right? I actually had to spend $100 today and I didn't want to. So that leaves me with like $2,600 in my truck. And even though I have a $500 deductible, but I just like to have that. You never know when something might happen. So we're right at 200, and that was thanks to Sue. She gave 50 again. All right. Yeah, I don't. Some people are sitting there telling, yo, Red, my boy says you probably want to take that up out of there. Ain't no telling what's going to happen to that. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. So when we get it to about 260, I think it's 256, 265, then I'll match it and I'll get these couple other books, and they're kind of expensive. So I'll only buy like two of them. They're both like almost $100 a piece. And thrift books, when I was looking at the delivery time, is a month, maybe a month and a week. Hopefully we're still here with everything that's going on. So anybody, if you want to donate, the Cashapp's there. They watch those videos 10, 20, 30 times. Give me the views. Just let it play. You don't have to watch and listen. Just let it play through. If you get some more people to come over, if you want to listen and you hear something else, more power, just keep it going, because it's still going to build revenue. Okay. It'll just be 90 days of me not being there. We're still here. All right. You dig what I'm saying? Report YouTube to Civil Rights Department, whatever the proper organization is called. No, I already got it. I already got what to do with them. They're not as wise or smart as they are. And me, I screenshot and read every one of their things. And when their statement as to why, which is in Gmail, I starred, it had nothing to do with the video, because it was just a video. I was going to do a podcast on it. I told you I have a whole bunch of things I want to do a podcast on, and one is the violence. Now, I said what I said about China Mac because I'm tired of his delusional state. For him to think that he can shut anybody down, he can't do nothing. Without us, he would be nothing. So he needs to chill himself, because what Charles White is doing, just because he says something, if them little words hurt you and it's about your people, then take your ass to China. Because we're done with all the nonsense on this soil. All the liberal and all the fake. There is no democracy. This is a republic for the people, by the people, of the people. And that's the bottom line. And it seems like the people are the ones that are being trodden on and being used to navigate and circumvent all this bull crap rhetoric. He doesn't want to have that talk with me, because I run him in the ground. Besides that, I'm still a knockout artist. No, I mean a good one, too. And I'm not violent. Just putting facts up. I'm a good guy. Y'all want to see my good guy clothes? My overalls? Red, blue, and yellow? And my good guy shoes? I even got the orange wig. They call me Chucky. That is my name. Sue, isn't that my name? Chucky, like my pops? Chucky. It is what it is. Yo, I appreciate everybody. Love coming in. My beautiful sisters. Maybe we'll get some more people to realize, hey, Red is back. When I had gone away. And to my brothers, it's always two out of one. We all move as one. You dig what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys sticking with me, getting the read on. And we get up to that 256, 265 for those books. I'll show you these books that I'm going to order too. Just real quick. No, that's not it. For real? I forgot I had a Walmart card. I actually got a Walmart app? Hey, when that happen? Okay. My account. I'm logged in. Yeah. Well, it should be right at the top. My apologies, guys. This is Why is it doing this? I hope I don't have to clean up the cache. Where's it at? It's funny how they say China's the East. It's further on the, it's not. We are the East. They are the West. If you look at the map and if you look at it and as a flat surface, you'll know what I'm talking about. Very simple, people. I'm trying to pull it up. What the fuck? Anyway, the book is, it's not, I thought I saved it. Anyway, it's called, I think it's like Hoja de Ruta, something Civilization of America. It's like $71.27 or $80, something like that. I'm trying to see what happened. Where did I put it at? I know I had it saved, and I don't know why. And yes, it's Spanish, but it's good for some of y'all to learn some Spanish, so shut up. Okay? Because it's the Jesuits in North America, people. You've got the Jesuits in North America, the 17th century, the pioneers of France in the New World, and a half-century conflict. And these books, there are different prices, and the prices are ludicrous. But these books, because the hardcover for those each are about $20 and $30, and it's like a set. So you, in order to get it, you literally have to. Look, man. This is what I do. Okay. Let me see. Where's it at? This thing is beating me up, guys. Okay, this is the one right here, and I think this one is like $30. All right, and this is Pioneers of France. You know what? I'm gonna show you right now. And Homeboy got a new book out too. All right, anyway, I didn't put them all there. So we have the Jesuits in North America. All right, we have Pioneers of France. I have to make sure. We have this one, here it is. It's still, I thought it wasn't down there, because we got Trail of Tears, which is the Death Walk, which is about $15. But the American Discovery of Europe is $55. So all these I want to get. The one that's 100 and something, I found them thrift books were 80. I ordered it already. I think I ordered it the day before yesterday. Okay. That's with my cash only. All right. But Hoja de Ruta, Cultura y Civilization in Latin America. That is a phenomenal friggin' book. I looked for it in English. It was empty. I said I can speak Spanish. I can read it, but it helped me learn and tighten up my damn Espanol. All right. So, American Discovery of Europe is a banging ass. So, I mean, y'all just don't get how important this shit is to me. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the cover so you can see it. Why is it doing that? Dude, I don't want to look inside. I just want the cover, man. Why is it like that? Amazon is so retarded. Okay, here we go. It's already added to the art. It's already in there. Why does it say add? It's already added. Why would I want to add it again? Tell me there's only one left. Anyway, the paperback is. Hold on. Yeah. Something is wrong. Important message about items in my cart. What do you mean? I just moved the card. It's always there. It's been there. Thank you. Anyway, that's 50 after taxes and everything. It's going to be about 50. Well, it's 51.67. It's going to be about $2-3 just on that alone. And all the other ones, you know, well, the what you call them about Latin America is 71.27, right? The other ones are 20, 30, and 20. So, and then there's two more, and that's the Trail of Tears, which is $13. And then you got the Iron Republic, which is like my favorite, and the World's Beyond the Poles. So you know the World's Beyond the Poles and all that. And we're already talking about two. And the one down here, this is another one. This is the one that I purchased. And I'm not going to put it on here. I bought it on Thrift Books. Let me show you. Because here it was $169.58. I spent 80 instead of, let me show y'all. Seriously, it's 169 something. I spent $80 on Thrift Books. This is Amazon. I'm trying to pull a picture up. Why is it acting funny on me? Can I expand? Here, I'll just expand it. The Jesuit Pierre Francis Xavier de Saul's Journal of a Voyage in North America. Okay, and over here, as you can see, let me pull it over. Okay, it was 200 something, 169. I bought it. I found it in Thrift Books for $80, so I bought it right away. I spent 85 something, you know, tax and stuff. So yeah, so I just left it in there, you know, so that way you can see it. Okay, the lights is messing it up. All right. And there's a bunch of other books that I have that are there for purchase, but I have them sitting on the side, you know, for later, because it's pretty expensive. So yeah, it's what I do. Yes, it is what I do. So all your donations are gonna go to that. And hopefully in 3 months, everybody watching the videos that I have there and people coming over and wanting to, you know, hear some shit talking and also some reading, that it'll create revenue, and that way I can take those and put them towards books. I'm not gonna get rich from it, you know what I'm saying? So that's not what I'm here for. And I will share with y'all, what our Big Jer is talking about as far as the other platforms. And that way we can actually really talk about some things without being silenced. And if you want, we get the people over there and we actually know what we're talking about. We create revenue. And that's what I thought would have got people here, because I know what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. But the agenda has us hooked into a lot of gullible people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the American Discovery of Europe. That's one of them. Jim Browski. How can anyone even determine direction on the globe Earth? If the Earth is spinning, wouldn't the direction change? All that would be hypothetical. That's why it's not even worth it. On a flat terrain, sea level, extraterrestrial, extra terrain, the words have been the education system was to make sure that people were dumb. That's why I read what I read, and I break down certain words to show you that it's an illusion. Just like species has nothing to do with people or animals. Yet, I guarantee you it's within Webster's dictionaries. I've got all that. And there's some it's not even there because it don't antiquate something that has order to it. Everything that we have been raised in the education system, that means torn down and redirected with an ignorance of focus, is to have a continuance of a deliberate deception. Otherwise, why would they be poisoning us? Look at the FDA. It is worthless. Look at the DOJ. You would think that people in the Department of Justice would actually be about it. They're full of shit. It's all a map. That's why I say it amazes me that people even pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to say you believe in the flat earth, Joshua. It's just no. You know what I mean? I respect that though, brother. Yeah, I tell people all the time, you believe in flat earth? Motherfucker, I believe the earth is flat. What the fuck am I believing it for? I'm on it. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I know what you meant though. But I'm more cognitive to certain things. And also the fact that most idiots talk on a plane of irrelevance based in fiction and relevant to theory. None of it's based upon fact. You know what I mean? But again, I appreciate them doing donations. Y'all, let's get them in so we can get some more of these goddamn books, man. I know what you're saying. Why don't you order a few? Why you got that in there? Let me order the books the way I want to order them. Sheesh. This is what I'm talking about. We all think we're in control. I'm not. I'm not in control of whether you donate. And for those who do, I love y'all. I would love to see other people donate because the books I'm going to continue reading. And as you know, this book right here is phenomenal. This book right here. Fucks the whole game up. Well, shit. About 50 of them do. But I'm just saying. And people don't believe that some people here don't have straight hair. Like, do y'all ever get out and not mix with French or anything? Louisiana, Carolinas, Virginia, there's many so-called Negro black people walking around with straight wavy hair who ain't got a bit of Hindu in them, no Chinese, don't got no pale skin, no Dutch, no German, no French, no nothing. Anyway, those aren't the original people, but you know what I'm saying? None of that, and they just have straight hair. I know enough of them. Green eyes, blue eyes, that's just no melanin. My eyes are light brown, almost kind of like a red, but that's melanin. If you remove it, my eyes are gray, grayish green. Underneath, I know exactly what they look like because I had the optician tell me. When I says, is it true? This melanin over it? He's like, yeah, how you know that? I studied medicine. I just never believed it. And he was looking and looking. He's like, your eyes are kind of greenish gray. I was like, yeah, I believe that. It's T. I appreciate everybody comes, new people that subscribe. I hope that I do you a pleasure. I'm always going to insert things based upon what I've learned, my travels. Every once in a while, I'm going to get tea based on medicine, things to help you out. Another thing, people, if you're going to cook with extra virgin olive oil, make sure you do it at a low heat and make sure that what you're cooking, that you cook it in the low heat, covered, or otherwise broil or bake it. And bake it at the right appropriate temperature and for the right amount of time. Overcooking is better than undercooking. And use fish, for those that eat pork, turkey. Put you some fresh basil, some rosemary, and some fresh thyme, not dried, fresh. Put you a couple slices of lemon, some cracked garlic. Slap it up in there with the oil, olive oil up in there if you're going to bake it. The fish too. Put it inside, and what's going to happen, and even better than that, wrap it in parchment paper, wrap it with rope, and let it permeate in there and become all brown. You know what I'm saying? Bubble wrap, bacon. Let me tell you something. The best damn saucier, succulent. I'm about to watch Tropical Thunder anyway, but then we're going to get into the, purge, finish that. And I respect and love every one of you. And I know at times it seems like when I'm talking, never take it personal, but if it applies, I can, change. Okay? My ex-wife, the first one, had the nerve, I told y'all this, call me a crackhead. I was like, she would have said blackout or drunk. At that time, losing a son in the Navy, the shit that I had to put up with and deal with, you goddamn right. Drunk as drunk can get. Man, crackhead. She lived and grew up around crackheads and crack dealers. Daughter went to Ohio, came back talking about, I was like, shit, maybe I should sell crack. And get, I was pretty much got a cookie, chopped it up, was going to sell the shit. Ended up throwing the shit away because it felt like so wrong. I had kids coming into the world. I felt so wrong. Yeah, I didn't give it to nobody. That's shit to kill people. I'm not into that. Took it, just threw it away. I didn't even bury it. It was raining. Just threw it away. Earth take care of it. And the thing is, I would have had to walk through all that, building clientele, the drug game, jealousy, envy, I'm quiet. I probably would have made a killing doing it. But then it comes with so much stuff. And I should know from being a drug dealer in high school, you just don't want to do that. And I'm sitting there going, as big as I am, as strong as I am, as how I like to run, I'm like, you know, when people are hurt, they want to hurt everybody around them. So I just had to laugh. I was like, are you serious? So I guess I got the black thumbs and the pipe burnt lips, the dark gums, and the never. Whatever else come with that shit. I was just like this. You got to be kidding me. I says anything to make what you the wrong you've done. That's why I have to talk about these things, to make the wrongs, the things that you've done wrong, to make them right. Gaslighting, blowing smoke. It just makes it makes sense, but it makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense. So people, don't do that to one another. Unless you actually know and there's proof in it, real solid proof. Now, other than trying the shit, because I did try it when I was in Jersey, I was like, what is this shit all about? My brother Reginald fucked up on it. He got kicked out of the Navy. This one's on it. That one's on it. That with Robin. I was like, fuck, I tried it. I was like, oh. No, this shit ain't no good. No, hell no. Give me a fucking drink. Give me a little hoo-hoo, you know, backwoods love. Man, we good to go. Anything that made me go like that. So I don't have to think too fast about the motherfuckers. All that shit, zippity zoop, running no, nigga, no. I'm full of energy. What the fuck I need that for? So if you ever was on it, I'm not knocking. We fight together to get you off. It's important. It's paramount. You dig what I'm saying? It is paramount to get you the fuck off that shit. All right? So anyway, let me get the fuck off here. Been on here for an hour and 18 minutes. My mom had straight, then brown hair. Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, my family on certain sides had it, you know. How can anyone even determine direction on? Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you know what? We're going to make the best of this. People slowly come in, and I'm going to keep reading. I'll be on tomorrow morning, and we'll go ahead and we'll get into the next 4 or 5 books. We'll hit the encyclopedia of ancient giants in North America. And where is it at? Let me make sure I got it down here. Don't worry, we're gonna get back into. I have not put them away as far as the Long Shadow and the Civil War and all that. That's going to tie in with some other books, and that's very important too, because we already know that Abe Lincoln was one of us. There's no way around it. They whitewash history for the benefit of creating further division and separation of those they don't care nothing about. Okay, so I appreciate you guys. I already saluted y'all. I appreciate the commentary, the love sharing. Let's get some of the other people. I don't know where Mama Red is. I know there's a lot of people, man, that don't know I'm over here. So y'all inform them. Y'all check them out and holler at them and say, hey, look, come on over, all right? So I appreciate y'all taking the time again, and I'll check y'all out later.